If you're thinking about becoming a travel agent, there's one question that you're going to hear over and over again. Can you get it cheaper for me? Friends are going to ask, family will ask, strangers will ask, clients definitely are going to ask that. And a lot of new travel advisors make a big mistake when answering that question. They try to promise that they are always cheaper. The truth is much simpler and much more powerful. Travel agents are not always cheaper. Sometimes the price is the same. Sometimes it's higher. Sometimes, yes, it is lower. But the reason great travel advisors succeed has very little to do with being the cheapest option. It has everything to do with value. If you're thinking about becoming a travel agent, understanding this difference will save you a lot of frustration. So in this video, I want to explain the real truth about travel agent pricing, when you might actually be cheaper, when you probably won't be cheaper, and why successful travel advisors focus on value instead of trying to win a race to the lowest price. Welcome back to Learn, Serve, and Earn. On this channel, we talk about the travel industry and we talk about how people make income by helping others plan better trips. So if you're even thinking about becoming a travel agent, one of the first things you need to understand is how pricing actually works in the industry. Because if you think the job's about finding secret cheap deals that nobody else can see, you're going to struggle. The internet already does a great job showing people prices. Your job as a travel advisor is not to beat the internet. Your job is to guide people through the decisions that make a trip successful. And sometimes, yes, that includes saving money. But more often, it includes protecting your client from expensive mistakes. So let's start with something very important. Let's talk about when travel agents are not cheaper. This is the part that many people avoid saying out loud. But if you're serious about this business, you need to understand it. First, let's talk about airfare. Airlines price their tickets dynamically. Prices change constantly depending upon demand, seat availability, and time. If someone is sitting at home searching airline websites every day using flexible dates and chasing the lowest possible fare, they're going to find a deal that you cannot match, you can match it, but you can't improve on it. Because airlines control their pricing systems. Air agents can book airfare, but we usually see the same prices that appear online. So if someone asks you to beat the absolute lowest airfare they found online, not going to happen. That's not where we create value. Second, ultra budget travel. Some travelers are only focused on the absolute lowest number they can find. They're willing to accept inconvenient flight times. They're willing to stay far away from attractions. They're willing to sacrifice comfort or convenience if it lowers the price $5. Those travelers can sometimes book something cheaper than what an advisor would recommend. Because a good advisor is usually looking at the full experience, not just the sticker price. Third, people who enjoy doing everything themselves. Some people actually love spending hours researching travel. They enjoy comparing every hotel. They enjoy reading hundreds of reviews. They enjoy building complicated itineraries. Those travelers are not really looking for guidance. They're looking for the fun of solving the puzzle themselves. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it does mean that price becomes their main focus. So now if you're watching this and thinking, okay, if travel agents aren't always cheaper, then why do people use them? That's the better question. That question leads directly to the real value of what we do. One of the biggest misunderstandings in travel planning is how people compare prices. A traveler might say something like, I found a hotel online for $180 a night, but the one you suggested is $220 a night. At first glance, it sounds like the advisor is more expensive, but the two options are rarely apples to apples. They're rarely identical. This hotel might be in a completely different location. The cheaper hotel might be far from the attractions that you're going there to see. It might require taxis or rent-a-cars every day. It might have resort fees or hidden charges. It might not include breakfast. It might not have flexible cancellation policies. So the traveler is not comparing the same product. And 99 times out of 100, that's the case. They're comparing two completely different experiences. So as a travel advisor, your job is to help clients see the big picture. You're not just comparing prices, you're comparing value. Now let's talk about the situations where travel advisors really can offer better pricing or, more importantly, better value. One example is group space. Many agencies reserve blocks of cruise cabins or hotel rooms at negotiated rates. These rates can sometimes be lower than anything the public has access to. Even when the price is the same, group bookings often include added benefits, things like onboard credit on a cruise ship, specialty dining, resort credits, free transfers, welcome amenities. These perks, they might not change the base price, but they absolutely change the value of the trip. Another situation is supplier promotions. Cruise lines, resorts, tour companies, they're constantly running promotions. Free airfare for this, reduced deposit for that, included excursions over here, extra onboard credit. Travel advisors pay attention to these promotions because they work with suppliers every day. They know when those promotions appear. They know when they expire. And sometimes they know when a better promotion is likely to come in a couple of weeks. This knowledge can help clients book at the right time. And that timing can absolutely affect the final cost. Now, here's something that many new agents don't realize. The biggest financial value you provide to your clients often comes from preventing mistakes. See, travel planning has a lot of moving parts: flights, transfers, hotels, excursions, local transportation, timing between the activities. If those pieces aren't planned properly, problems pop up immediately. A hotel might look beautiful in the photos, but it turns out it's located 30 miles from everything that you want to see. An itinerary might look exciting, but requires constant early morning departures or long travel days. A cruise line might be perfect for one type of traveler, but completely wrong for another. See, these kinds of mistakes, they cost real money. Taxi rides, last minute hotel changes, missed connections, canceled tours. Now, a good travel advisor prevents these problems long before they happen. That's where your value lives. Another thing you'll notice as a travel advisor is how much time people spend researching trips. Some travelers open dozens of browser tabs. They compare hotel reviews across 5 different websites. They watch videos, read forums, and try to piece together that perfect itinerary. And then after hours of research, they're still not confident that they made the right choice. So when someone works with a travel advisor, that process just gets simpler. Instead of spending 10 or 15 hours researching options, they have a focused planning conversation. You ask the right questions. You narrow the choices. You guide them towards options that can actually fit their travel style. See, that clarity, that saves time and money. And for many travelers, time is just as valuable, if not more valuable, than cold hard cash. Travel doesn't always go perfectly. Flights get delayed, hotels overbook rooms, weather changes cruise itineraries, connections get missed. So when someone books everything themselves, they're the only ones responsible for fixing those problems. They're the ones that sit on hold with the airlines. They're the ones that have to search for last minute alternatives that aren't going to break their bank account. They try to solve a problem in the middle of a stressful travel day. When someone works as the travel advisor, they have an advocate. They have someone who understands the systems, someone who can contact suppliers, someone who can help navigate those solutions. That support becomes extremely valuable when something unexpected happens. And something unexpected almost always happens. So, if you become a travel agent, you will eventually hear this question: are you cheaper than booking online? The best answer, in my opinion, is simple and honest. Nope, I'm not always cheaper. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's higher, and yes, sometimes it's lower. But that's not my job. My job is to make sure you get the best value for your money and avoid the mistakes that can make a trip frustrating or twice as expensive. See, that answer, it builds trust, it shows confidence, and it explains the real purpose of what travel agents do. If you're considering becoming a travel advisor, remember this: your success will not come from being the cheapest option. I mean, think about that. Who wants to be the cheapest? You're making a commission off of the cost of that trip. Why would you want to be the cheapest? I mean, okay, sometimes you are the cheapest and provide the right value, but I don't look for the cheapest when I book a trip for a customer. I look for the best value. The internet already competes on price. Don't join them because you will never win that battle. Your success will come from guidance, from understanding destinations, understanding suppliers, understanding what different travelers actually need. When you help clients make better decisions, the value becomes obvious. And when that value is obvious, price stops being the only factor. So are travel agents always cheaper? Yeah, no, not happening. But the best travel advisors create value in ways that go far beyond price. They help travelers avoid mistakes. They help them choose the right experiences. They save them time, and they provide support when things don't go as planned. So if you're thinking about becoming a travel agent, understanding this mindset will help you build a much stronger business, because the goal is not to compete with the internet. The goal is to guide people through the overwhelming number of choices and help them have better trips. If you want to learn more about how this industry works and how people build income helping others travel, make sure you subscribe. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about something every new travel advisor worries about: how travel agents actually find their first clients. Until then, have a great day.